What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael and welcome to FudgeMuppet. I hope you're in the mood for some Skyrim because today I'm bringing you the 5 best one-handed swords for your character to use in the game. These swords are rated the best based heavily on total damage, but also on their unique effects, enchantments, and ease of use. Some swords such as Blood Scythe and Soul Render don't even make this list as they require specific circumstances for them to be strong. In that case, you need to dual wield them together and wear the special suit of Deathbrand armor. Every weapon in this list will be able to be used effectively by any character, like yours for example, regardless of what other gear you want to use. This list also isn't ordered, as some weapons are better than others for specific builds, so sit back and enjoy the sensational visuals and get ready to learn what we believe are the 5 best swords for you to swing in Skyrim. Up first, we have Miraak's sword. You can get this from the Dragonborn DLC after defeating Miraak on the summit of Apocrypha and taking it from his corpse. This very unique looking sword is one of the darkest, most powerful weapons in Skyrim, and it is leveled, giving you a base damage of 16 if you acquire it at level 60 or above. I'll have you know that it is the highest base damage for a sword in the game, and I'll also have you know that this weapon is the second lightest in the game. This means you can swing it faster, which means you'll be causing more damage per second with what is already the highest physical damage sword in the game. You can take the damage of this sword even higher with an Ebony Ingot, a Daedra Heart, and the Arcane Blacksmith perk, and it benefits from the Dwarven Smithing perk, which doubles the improvement. This glittering green sword produces an amazing tentacle effect when you swing it too, although this is purely aesthetic and doesn't actually increase the length of the weapon. This weapon falls short when it comes to the enchantment, however, as it is merely absorb 15 points of stamina. It's not too bad and can allow you to keep power attacking, but it's also not that amazing and it runs out pretty quickly too. The charge is so small that you can recharge the weapon fully with a petty soul gem, and I guess that could technically be an advantage for some people, but personally I would prefer more charge. Try carrying the Black Star and use soul trap spells if you want to get more use out of it. Second on the list is simply the Dragonbone sword, smithed up with beastly enchantments of course. You got Dragonbone gear from the Dawnguard DLC, and if you weren't aware, it does more damage than Daedric. The Dragonbone sword has a base damage of 15, which is the second highest in the game, and all you need to do to get it is become a Master Forger. It won't matter if you're only a low level, you just need the smithing capabilities and you're good to go. 100 smithing plus the Dragon Armor perk plus 1 Dragon Bone plus an Ebony Ingot and 1 leather strip. That's what it takes to get this deadly sword in your grips. You'll then want to upgrade it with another Dragon Bone to increase the damage even more, and then chuck on an enchantment for even more overkill. Again, I recommend that you use the Black Star and add a Soul Trap enchantment to the sword, as well as something else. You might want to use Fiery Soul Trap as one enchantment, so you do fire damage and Soul Trap, and then add anything else you want, such as Absorb Health or Chaos damage for the ultimate power and classic Dragonborn savagery. Best sword number 3 is the Nightingale Blade. This is given to you in the Thieves Guild storyline and has a base damage of 14 if you get the best version, in which case you'll need to be level 46. However, the problem with this version of the weapon is that there's a bug which prevents it from being smithed up, in which case you'll probably want the slightly weaker version, which you can get at level 36 and above, with a base damage of 13. The difference here is that the enchantment is 5 points weaker though. The best version will absorb 25 points of health and stamina, and the slightly weaker one will absorb 20 points of each. The slightly weaker one is technically better in the long run though after you smith it up with an Ebony Ingot and the Arcane Blacksmith perk. It won't benefit from other smithing perks however. Anyways, this weapon has a pretty high base damage, although it's not the absolute highest in the game. There are other weapons such as Dragon Bane which have the same damage as the strongest version of this sword and can still be smithed up. The Nightingale Blade, however, has one of the best enchantments around. Absorbing 25 points of stamina and 25 points of health is not to be underestimated, especially on a one-handed sword which can be swung rapidly to keep you sustained and in the fight. Furthermore, you can continually power attack with it so long as you land your strikes by using the stamina that it gives you. So not only does this weapon take health and stamina away from your targets, making them less effective and die quicker, but it then gives those stats to you, allowing you to swing and chop until your heart's content. The Nightingale Blade also has an intricate design on it which ensures this weapon is badass as well as effective. Wind Shear is a unique scimitar that you're going to have a lot of fun with, and it's the 4th best sword on this list. It's a curved sword, as you can see. Obtaining this sword is memorable, as you get it during the very epic Dark Brotherhood quest, Hail Sithis. This weapon has a base damage of 11 and a weight of 10, so it's reasonably light and it's reasonably strong. It's not that strong though, so why is it on the list of the best swords? Well, Wind Shear has one of the best enchantments in the game, and this enchantment is completely unique to it, so you won't be able to disenchant it and put it on another weapon. What it does is stagger enemies constantly. Every attack will stagger an enemy 100% of the time. This means you can just keep hitting enemies and they won't be able to fight back, as they're constantly staggering, regaining their stance, and then staggering again. The other benefit of this weapon, which makes it strong, which is the listed effect of the weapon, is that you can block bash with it to paralyze enemies for 0.1 seconds. This is chance based though, unlike the stagger, and the chance for the brief paralysis is 39% per bash, so it's pretty good. The weapon description says the chance is for knocking enemies down, but that's pretty much what the 0.1 second paralysis does. It can be upgraded with a steel ingot and benefits from steel smithing, allowing you to take one of the most overpowered weapons in Skyrim to the next level. 5th on the list, we've got the infamous Chillrend. You probably recognize this special glass sword from Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, or if not, you'd know it from Skyrim's Thieves Guild storyline, which in my opinion is the worst thing about it, because to get it you have to complete the Thieves Guild quests, and I only ever want to use this for builds that aren't thieves. That said, if you try really hard you can work around this, but that's a topic for another day. Like Mirak's sword, this beautiful weapon is leveled, so if you want that ice crisp base damage of 15, you'll need to acquire it after you've hit level 46. Not only will it increase the base damage at this level, but it also changes the enchantment damage, which is highly powerful. The strongest Chillrend will cause the target to take 30 points of frost damage to health and stamina, and gives you a chance to paralyze the target for 2 seconds. Furthermore, if you have both ranks of the augmented frost perk in the destruction tree, you'll be able to raise this frost damage to 45 points. It goes without saying that this frosty vapor emanating ice blade is incredibly strong, and like the other swords you can smith it up further at a grindstone. You'll want to use a refined malachite ingot in combination with the arcane blacksmith perk and the glass smithing perk to double the improvement. Subscribe to FudgeMuppet for more sensational Skyrim content like this. Hit like to support our channel and leave your comments down below of which sword is your favorite to use. Thanks so much for watching this video, we really appreciate it, and if you know any friends who would also like to watch it, be sure to send them the link. Our social media links are in the description. My name is Michael, and I'll nerd out with you again very soon.